Hi everyone, I'm Amanda L, and today we are doing a gentle hip release stretch. So this is great for any tense or tight feelings that you have in your hips. We're going to breathe through things and move really slow to open things up. So whenever you're ready, grab your mat and let's get started. We're going to start today in a child's pose. So coming into your child's pose, toes together, knees apart, hips back on your heels, forehead either resting on your hands or down at the mat, and hands either underneath your forehead or in front of you. Closing down the eyes if that feels safe, and just feeling into this place. Feeling the points of contact on the ground. Maybe doing a little wiggle of the body, feeling into yourself. Maybe any tense or tight feelings that you're getting in your hips as you sway side to side, just bringing awareness to them. Just kind of like a little, hey, I see you type of thing. And pressing up onto all fours, rolling through some cat-cows, making them fun. So maybe rolling around some circles or lifting a hand to get a nice stretch through your back body, just letting yourself move. Not really caring what it looks like. Landing in center, doing some hip circles with that right knee. So keeping the leg bent as you move through some big circles, taking it nice and slow. Bringing your breath into your hips as you move here. Bringing the awareness to how this feels. And reversing the circle. Coming back to that breath. Finishing things off here. Landing in all fours before taking it up and over to the opposite side. Big circles with that knee on the left. Moving slowly. Connecting to your breath. Reversing your circles. Landing back in center. Keeping that right leg bent, lifting the knee out and up. So coming into a fire hydrant, moving through this super slow. So we're going to lower for 3, 2, 1. And we're going to lift for 1, 2, 3. Hold. And lower for 3, 2, 1. And lift for 1, 2, 3. Pause here. Breathe. Lower for 1, 2, 3. Release. Coming up and over on the other side. Lifting for 3, 2, 1. Lowering for 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to pause when we reach the top. So lifting for 1, 2, 3. Pause. Breathe. Pressing firmly down into both palms. Lowering for 3, 2, 1. Twice more just like that. Lifting. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Breathe. Lower. 3, 2, 1. One more time. Lift. 2, 3. Hold. And lower. 3, 2, 1. Rolling around your cat-cows. Feeling the fire that you've created in just those short movements. Tucking your toes, walking back into a squat. Making this a moving squat, so shifting to one side and then the other. Maybe you just go back and forth here, but take it slow. Maybe you pause and breathe into a space that is calling to you. Walking out onto all fours once more. Keeping that right knee bent, pressing it up and back behind you, and just pulsing. So pulsing that heel of the foot towards the ceiling. Keeping your hips square, so none of this to get higher up. Keeping it as low as it needs. Feeling through that glute, activating the core, pressing down through the palms. If it feels safe, closing your eyes and really feeling into this. Firing up so that we can stretch and release in a deeper way. And release. Left leg, pressing that heel up. Noticing the differences in mobility on each side. So my left side is like very immobile compared to my left, so I keep the leg lower and I pulse there. Working with where you're at. And release. Tucking your toes, sitting back on your heels for a moment. Big inhale, cactusing your arms, opening your heart forward. Exhale, round, pressing your hands together in front of you. 2 more times like that. Big inhale, open up. Long exhale, rounding in. One more time. Inhale, showing yourself to the world. Exhale, reflecting inwards. Walking back onto all fours. Tucking your toes, lifting your hips up and back, downward dog. Pedaling out your feet. Swing your hips a bit side to side once you get here. Big inhale sweeps that right leg up and back, down dog split. Bend through the knee, open up the hip. Sweeping that right leg to the outer edge of the right hand. Planting down the back knee. Dropping in. Maybe you stay up, maybe you come down, maybe you're somewhere in the middle. Just finding a spot to focus on the breath, focus on the hips. Noticing what you feel. Maybe some subtle Shifts of movements can intensify a stretch in one area. You can pause there, breathing into it. You want to take it a bit deeper, you can bend through the back knee, grabbing a hold of that foot with the right hand. If that's too much, and that's okay. Coming out and coming into a space where you can breathe and focus on that breath. That'll get you further in the end than pushing or tensing into a space that is desirable in your mind or maybe in society. Slowly releasing that back foot if you have a hold of it. Pressing up if you're not already. Sending yourself back into a downward dog. Once you get there, settling into stillness and noticing what you notice. Big inhale, left leg sweeps up and back, down dog split. Bend through the knee, open the hip. Left leg to the outer edge of that right or that left hand. Back knee drops down. Going in right here, right now. This practice is a practice of coming back to your breath, coming back to yourself again and again and again. Maybe bending through the back knee, grabbing a hold of that foot. Slowly releasing out of that. Coming up and back into your downward dog. Once you get there, finding a stillness. Maybe closing your eyes and feeling. Tuning out the external information that we are always receiving and tuning into the internal guidance and information that is always there, but is so often overlooked. Walking your hands back to the back of the mat, folding over, forward fold. Maybe interlacing your elbows as you sway side to side. Heel toeing your feet to the edges of the mat, sinking back into that squat. Finding yourself in stillness here. And coming back into a nice easy seat. Soles of the feet together. Knees out wide. Folding over this place. So playing around with the distance between your body and your feet, you can make it a little wider or you can bring it closer to your body, depending on how you're feeling and what you have going on. So once you get here, maybe pressing one hand into a knee and allowing your torso to fall away. Or just really exploring in a space that feels right for you. Pressing up through center, tucking that left leg back behind you. You can have your hands back behind you for a little more support or out in front of you. As you lift your knees up through center, taking them over to the left. Sitting up tall as we move. Coming through center, up and over to the right. Feet press down into the mat as you lift your knees, rounding towards the left. Coming up and over to the right. And one more time to the left, this time staying. So finding yourself right here, sitting tall. If you don't feel a stretch here, you can just keep your left leg parallel with the short edge of the mat, and then you can parallel your right leg with the long edge of the mat. Flexing your feet as you find yourself in this space, tall spine, hips pressing down. So if you're doing this, then maybe backing off a bit so you can bring that hip down onto the mat. And breathing here. Making your way through center, up and over to the opposite side. So either parallel your shins with the edges of your mat or just bringing it in a bit more, working with where you are at. Tall through the spine, hips pressing down. Breathing. Maybe tuning out the world as you focus in. Making your way through center and just sliding your legs out into a wide-legged forward fold. Allowing this to be movable. So maybe taking it up and over to one side and pausing there and then coming up and over on the other side, just really allowing yourself to explore. using your breath as you move. So making it like a wave and moving like that wave. And then finding a place to settle into stillness, to drop and melt into this place. Lengthening your inhales and your exhales. Maybe tuning out the world by closing the curtain of your eyelids. Exploring around what's inside and how you can support it with your breath. Rounding up through center, bending through the right knee and just swinging towards the right side, coming into a pigeon pose. So wiggling around to feel into that spot where you can drop into your pigeon. But before doing so, taking a big inhale, opening through the heart. Exhale, letting it be and letting it land where it does. Often we want the expansion without the full expansion, and having an open heart, an open mind, and a deep and connected breath is part of opening in other areas of the body. So it's all so intricately connected. And the more that we can incorporate the whole body perspective, the more that we can feel and know ourselves in a deeper way. Bringing your breath back into this place. Noticing where you go when it leaves, or where you're at when I cue you to come back to it. On your next inhale, I want you to gather up all of the energy within your hips. And then on the exhale, we are going to release that energy out through the mouth. Making a noise or sighing or whatever is also supportive here. So taking a big inhale, gathering it up. Super long exhale, release it out. 2 more just like that, gathering it up. Transmuting it out. 1 more super big inhale, cleaning up the corners. Long exhale, expel. Now taking a big inhale and filling up that place with light. Exhale, glowing the light brighter, so turning it on with your exhale. Twice more just like that. Inhale, light. Exhale, it shines bright. One more time, big inhale. Long exhale. Starting to make your way up. Opening to the side, palms back behind you, bending through the knees, and just allowing them to windshield wiper from side to side. Feeling into that right hip and all of the space that you've created, everything that you've cleared out. As your knees drop to the right, pausing for a breath in and a breath out. Sweeping through center to the left, breath in, breath out. Finding your way into your pigeon pose, facing the left side of the mat, left leg forwards. Big inhale, expand. Exhale, contract into yourself. Finding your place here. Finding your relationship to whatever is going on, or however this practice is going. What is the story about it that you're telling yourself? How are you relating to what is coming up? Maybe the top eyelid and the bottom eyelid mate and connect as you go inward. Doing a little exploration of the self. We are going to take those releasing breaths on this side as well. So gathering up all of that stuck or tense energy or feeling that is coming up or whatever it is, gathering it into that inhale, and then on the exhale, letting it out, letting it go, releasing it to create space for something new. Big inhale up through the nose, gathering it up. Long exhale, let it go. Twice more, just like that. Super big inhale, cleaning it up. Even longer exhale, clearing it out. Once more, just like that, getting into the cracks and crevices, cleaning it up. Exhale, letting it go. And now that you've created that space, let's put something light in there. So sending a light into that hip on the inhale. Big inhale, light fills that space. Exhale, let it shine brighter. Twice more, just like that. Big inhale, filling it up with lights. Long exhale, shining it so bright. Once more, just like that. Big inhale, fill it up. Big exhale, shine it bright. Feeling that space. Rounding up through center. Making your way into that windshield wipering. Hands back behind you, knees fall to the right. And then the left. Moving at a slow pace. Pausing on the right, maybe keeping your hands back behind you or sitting up where we began with this a little while ago. And releasing through center and up and over to the other side, pausing in this place. Coming through center, rounding onto your back, taking your knees with you as you make your way there, allowing them to fall away from you as you hang on. Nice release for the spine. Letting this evolve into a happy baby. Maybe easy sway side to side. Maybe it's so small that you can hardly even see it. Noticing the intricate details of the movements. Recognizing the intricacies of the human body. All of the little details that create the perfect symphony of yourself. Dropping your feet onto the mat, coming into a twist of your choice over to the left. Envisioning yourself just melting into the floor. So you're just like a stick of hot butter on a car window or a car hood in the middle of the summer. And you're just melting here. Dropping all of the tension and using your breath as a support. So your breath is the sunlight melting you in this space. Up and over to the right. Unwinding out of your twist, landing in Savasana. Legs out long, arms at your sides, eyes closed. Melt. Starting to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Rolling through your wrists and your ankles. Maybe taking a big stretch up above your head. And bringing your knees into your chest, one by one, keeping your eyes closed as you make your way up into a nice easy seat. Once you arrive, feeling yourself sitting here, feeling the points of contact to the ground, the air touching your skin, maybe the lighting also touching you. And then feeling from the inside, as you gently sway side to side, feel the movement of like an internal massage of you touching yourself from the inside. Your ribs pressing against the boundary of your skin as you sway. The breath expanding you as far as it does. And the contraction giving that massage to the organs within. Viewing your breath as a playground, as a toy to explore with and to expand your imagination, expand your capacity for what is part of your reality. Allowing it to expand, 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 and create more space in any place that feels like maybe something that you walked onto the mat with today. Big inhale, arms reach out and up, palms pressed together at the top. Thumbs come to your chest, connecting to your heartbeat. Big inhale up through the nose. Long exhale out the mouth. Twice more. Big inhale. Long exhale. One more time. Super big inhale. Super long exhale. And opening your eyes whenever you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Let me know in the comments if you have any requests for future videos. And with that, I will see you next time.